Yeah.
Wait, I think I can't turn down the YouTube one until it actually starts in there.
Yeah.
And it actually has gone live. I don't know if you see that, but now we get the mute on there. All right,
There
now
we go. Got that. All right. And I am good on my side now.
All right, cool. Let's do this. So people are watching this. Most of the people aren't watching this, I think, but whatever. So I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna talk a little bit about was this AEW's All Out pay-per-view, along with my good friend Derek here. Derek, go ahead and say some things about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Tennessee. I'm single. I don't like long walks on the beach.
Okay, perfect. I have a lot of those same things in common. Maybe we can talk after this.
All right.
All right. So as usual, we're just gonna kind of hit everything down the row as they came on. Like in the match order, basically. Talk about some things we liked, some things we didn't like. All honesty, because that's the way to do it, right?
I would believe so.
All right, cool.
You start at the end and go backwards, but that's kind of pointless.
Maybe we'll switch it up next time.
We'll see.
Probably not. So if you wouldn't mind, please go ahead and start us off with the women's buy-in battle royal, Casino Royale, I think.
Yeah. So first off, I kind of like the way they do things. I like the whole, they'll send a group of them out, then send another group out, then send another group out. So it's not like a complete rip-off of the Royal Rumble. It kind of is, but I mean, it adds a little of its own character to it. So I do enjoy that.
It is a nice twist.
Yeah. Then I'm glad that they start off with the librarian, get her out of the way. Still don't like the character. And, with that, the whole feet hitting the ground thing, that rule has got to change. Like, I think it's got to be like, if you hit the ground outside or whatever, like, you are out. Like, laying down the books and then walk in, I'm like, come on. Like, that was cool when Kofi Kingston was doing it there for a while. And even then, I got to the point where I was just like, all right, come on, do something new. And then, let's see. I honestly thought Baker or Priestley would be the ones to win it. I was not expecting. Who was it? The Mercedes?
Nyla Rose.
Oh yeah. Nyla Rose. Yeah, my bad.
Because
I saw your note on here and said, okay.
Yeah, so I kind of felt the same way because again, I'm not super familiar with most of these women, right?
Yeah.
A couple of them from just seeing them over like the last handful of pay-per-views, or maybe their name is familiar.
Yeah.
For the most part, I didn't know them. Like one thing, like you were saying, I did like the how they give each person a suit, So it's like, oh, well, you're with the Spades group, so then you come out whenever, because that way you get a nice wave of people, and it's not just like there have been past other Royal Rumble years where it'd be like maybe the Big Show eliminates everybody, and then one person comes in, he throws them out. Another person comes in, he throws them out. It kind of is like it's weird. I get why they do that, but I prefer this way, kind of,
Yeah.
But one of the things for me though, like the match was fine. I didn't really have any complaints. Like I couldn't complain about the person who won because I don't really know her.
Yeah.
So but she was pretty good though through the match. She was the first one in, last the whole time. She threw who was it? Priscilla Kelly. I don't know the name. I just had to rewatch it to find that. It's like she threw her just like to the floor from the ring.
Yeah. I thought that landing did not look good.
I thought it was gonna be one of those like you throw them and like they hit other people things.
Yeah.
He just like reached over and just dropped her, and it's like, oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Well, see, there was a few of the other females out there, and I wonder if she was supposed to, hit the few that were out there, but maybe it was a botch, like she kind of like slipped. Because that landing did not look pretty or clean at all.
Because like when she hit the ground, like there's a girl like right next to her. It's like, oh, I was out of place. My bad.
Yeah.
They're just kind of looking at her like, you good though?
Yeah. What up, Will Not Lil? I think I said that right.
And then
somebody in the chat.
What's that?
Got somebody in the chat there.
Oh, that didn't show up on. It shows up on the StreamYard window, but it doesn't show up on the. Did I say it doesn't? It doesn't show up on the on the YouTube screen just yet.
Yeah, that takes a minute.
That country slang is rubbing off on me.
There.
But when they got to the end, and they brought out like the lady with the Joker, Mercedes Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know who she was, but I was like, okay, I wanted to see more of her, and then there was like Swole, whatever her name was, somewhere along the match too. And I was like, man, this is looking. I kind of want to know who these people are because they look interesting. Did anybody happen to stand out to you, or if you remember at all?
I mean, there's a lot of people in that, and a lot of faces that I did not know. I wanted to see more from Jazz, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I thought she was a really good, character back in the day, and I expected some more, just of what she was back in the day. I wanted more of that, but didn't really get a lot from her.
Yeah, it was a little underwhelming. I think they also didn't mention her name when they were announcing everybody's name.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I had to go back and see, but it just seemed a little strange.
Yeah.
But her and ODB and her and someone else, like they had their moment where it was like all four of them, like the four like more legend status sort of gals. But it was a little underwhelming how they used her, but nice to see her there.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get more from her in the future. But I mean, I honestly I liked the Royal. I did not think it was a bad match at all. I'm okay with the outcome. I don't know the winner. I mean, I've only seen a little bit of her in the past. So, and we'll come back to this, noting that for what, something I'm going to bring up later.
But yeah, because I mean, we kind of covered everything there. But yeah, all in all, I like it. Hopefully, I don't want them to overdo it, but I do like seeing those every so often. If it becomes like just like every other main pay-per-view, like switching between like men and women or something.
Yeah.
Let's see. So after that was Angelico and Jack Evans versus Private Party.
Yeah.
So that one, or Team Monster, as you call it. That was one where I didn't expect. I mean, I knew it wasn't like like a big feud or anything. It was just something. They had two good tag teams. Like, why not put them on there, right?
Yeah.
And so that ended up being a really, really good one. Though there was a part where the ring announcer was like 5 minutes remaining, or 5 minutes passed, 10 minutes remaining, and then the commentator was like, "Yeah, we've got a 20-minute matchup here." So I don't know that math is right.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like you said, Team Monster, as I like to call them. I thought both of those teams really complemented each other, like their styles and just working together in general.
Right.
I do wonder though. At one point, I think it was Evans kicking one of the guy's shades, like he had dropped on the ground and kicked him. Now I'm a shades guy. I've got a couple of pair. I'm like, if somebody kicked those shades, I'd be hitting somebody. So
see, and that's how I felt. Like I saw that, I was like, those could have been expensive.
Right.
I know these guys make I assume they make decent money because it's a major promotion now, sort of. But how much were those? Because they looked nice.
Yeah. It looked like a pair of my Ray-Bans. I was like, I don't know if I want anybody doing that.
But yeah, I was looking at that like, well, that sucks. But then the match started and you kind of just forget about it, right? Because it was. I would compare it to remember how when Nitro used to start, it would often start with some big 6-man luchador match or something just to kind of give you something to watch and kind of get you going.
Yeah.
that's kind of what this match was. It's like, hey, let's start off with something like doesn't need to be heavy on the storyline. It's something that people can get worked up over.
Yeah.
And that happened, and then it moved on to the SC. Well, what else? What all else do you have to say about that?
Well, the heel turn, I did not expect Angelico and Evans to end up becoming the heels. You know, I thought they were going to end up being baby faces, but I guess that's what happens when you don't know anything about the guys, you know, that you're starting to watch.
Yeah, and they have. I feel like they have a better vibe to pull off the heel thing of those two.
Yeah.
Private Party is like people are too into it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like who's that in NXT? That's a very equipped, similar team, the Street Profits.
Yeah. Street
you know, like
Profits.
if they had to go heel, it'd be like, it might not work out. Same way with it doesn't always work out for Jericho or Elias. Just people sometimes just like people.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, it was like you said in there. It's a really exciting match, though. Lots of movement happening.
Yeah, lots of fast movement, not a lot of slowing down. So, but yeah, definitely, like you said, is like one of those matches that kind of like get you in, get you going.
Yeah, and then when I wrote in there about how there was like a neck break for one of them where a Team Monster was holding one guy's head back and the other guy kicks him in the face. Like that is, Jesus.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like that would hurt.
Yeah, that hurt me, like my soul. But they made it through. Well, they didn't win, but either way.
I mean, in the end, I think they won though.
Yeah,
like, when they did the heel turn and then just beat them up, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like at the end, I had to watch it again to see who even won because it was one of those ones where it's like it didn't really matter, you know, who won or lost, because there wasn't any backstory attached to it. I don't think there was anything on the line other than.
Yeah, I believe Private Party won that, and then that's where they ended up doing the heel turn because they're all like salty or whatever.
Yeah, but that's good. You got to start getting these things kind of slowly going. Then let's see. From there, yeah, they just kind of kept the energy going with SCU and Jurassic Express, or a boy and his dinosaur.
I'm loving Jurassic Express, and like, so first off, I like a boy and his dinosaur better than the whole Jurassic Express thing. It's only because Marco Stunt, he doesn't have a gimmick that really fits that whole Jurassic Express thing that they're doing. So if they could change his gimmick up and make him like another Tarzan or Caveman or something like that, that'd be perfect. And then Luchasaurus did, like, every time that guy gets into the ring, I'm just impressed. And you know, he's a big guy and he's doing stuff, you know, like the little guys do, and then you don't see the other big guys doing that.
No, not at all. So that was pretty awesome, actually. Like I put in there that there was a part where it was basically him versus SCU, and he's kind of like flipping all over the ring and stuff, knocking people down, hitting like the super kicks and stuff. And I forget what happened, but then he goes for a big pin, and it seemed like he could have. I mean, you kind of knew it wasn't going to be over that soon, but it was like, wow, this was a good set. Like, is he gonna win it right now?
Yeah.
But, then it went on longer, which was good because there were more impressive. I mean, not saying more impressive than that, but there were several other impressive moments in the match. You know, because he's a big dude doing little dude things. So,
yeah. Well, kind of like when everybody's on the outside, Luchasaurus is in the center, and he went and did the what I like to call that step up somersault, where he runs up and just stepped on the second rope and then just kind of like rolled and flipped out. Like if it was me trying to do that, my legs slip, then I'm snapping or something. But that dude just doing that is like, all right, you're pretty good, man.
yeah, that was pretty impressive. It was because he's so big, like it was like a slower rotation, but like you're just watching it, like, is this really happening?
Yeah, and coming down on those guys that are smaller though, they're going to feel that one a little bit more. Like, all right, here he comes, here comes the big guy.
Oh yeah, and then later on in the match somewhere there was like, I think he threw Marco Stunt like kind of like a wheelbarrow sort of throw, and then someone caught him. They did like the spinning DDT and all that stuff. So it was.
This is my other roommate.
Oh, okay.
Did that?
Yeah, this is live. That's on live.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gentlemen, went
Still got me.
smash the like button, as they say.
Yeah, right. Just for that.
But yeah, so it was really good overall. So again, like they've got some pretty good tag match things going on, tag division.
Yeah.
And then they wrapped that up and started with the singles match. First singles match of the night, actually.
Punk versus Omega, if I'm not
Go ahead
mistaken.
and share your thoughts on that one.
Honestly, I absolutely loved this match. Now I remember watching the match in England between Hangman Page and Pac. I was like, that's pretty good. I've seen him, Pac do his things with the WWE. So I expected some of the stuff that he would do. But I feel like his wrestling style is different now. He's not with the WWE, which is good, and I like his character. I like it a lot better than what it was like the Neville thing. I think that's his name.
He's a very believable angry man.
Yeah, because that guy comes out. I'm like, okay, this guy's not seen a good day since the day he was born. So
yeah, every day is the worst day since yesterday, right?
Right.
Hogging Molly.
Great band, by the way.
Yeah.
And then we had Omega coming out, and I'm really impressed with Omega almost anytime I watch him. I do like how he was doing some of that like little cheeky stuff, like Pac would go down, and then Omega just kind of like slowly stepped over and walked away. Like I thought the chemistry that they had throughout the whole match was kind of like that, just very good.
Right, and that was the thing, because I don't know how much they've interacted in the past or anything. I feel like not a lot, honestly, given the timeline of what Omega was doing and what he was doing. I feel like it's their first match, and maybe their first match in like 10 years or something. I don't know, but like at least recently, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And so it went pretty well because Omega's got a style that can match up with mostly anything. And then given that Pac wasn't doing like the Neville thing, and it wasn't just like, okay, just go hit the high flying spots and then call it a night. Yeah. He was actually like showing off some more heel style tactics and whatnot. So it was really well laid out, honestly.
Yeah.
I was a little caught off guard by the finish. Not necessarily because, I mean, for all the reasons, honestly, but not as much because he won, but kind of like how he won.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Just I've not seen anybody take a nap, and yet put to sleep and then the match be called. Which is bringing that up, it makes me think about the other matches like we've had. They've reached the time limits, like end up at 1. It seems like they're trying to use more of these scenarios that are in the wrestling world that we've not really seen in a while.
Pretty well too.
Yeah, and I thought it was a really good finish, honestly.
Right, and then with especially with the storyline there of Kenny Omega going on this losing streak, basically, and I guess kind of trying to find his smile again, as they say.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens, though. I'm curious to see how things progress from there. But I know that they want to make Pac like a big guy there, seemingly. And Kenny Omega's essentially got nothing to prove at this point.
Yeah.
But it's just cool to see it playing out, that they're not just like, well, he's one of the guys, and so let's just put him in all, like, give him this Goldberg style undefeated streak. If anything, that would make people probably hate him.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It tends to have a reverse effect.
Yeah. And then I think, like you're saying, like Kenny Omega, he doesn't need, he doesn't have anything left to prove. But I think putting Pac and Hangman against each other at some point, I think that'd be really good. Like I watched that fight that they had, or before the AEW pay-per-view a while back. It was like the day before. They're in England,
like a house show somewhere in England.
Yeah, and it's really good, and like I would love to see a storyline play out with those two.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. Now, I don't know if because I know part of the thing before I think was that Pac had a title, and they didn't want whatever that title was from, they didn't want him to lose while he had it. So, and the plan was for him to lose to Paige. So I think that's part of the reason that match didn't happen. I mean, this is all like rumors. Obviously, I don't know anything for real, but it makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This you were saying that you haven't seen somebody put to sleep like that in a while. I think the last time would be well, I was about to say it was Chris Benoit versus Raven in like 98 or 99 but, in WCW.
Yeah.
But I think there may have been a similar-ish finish with what was it, Brock Lesnar versus Triple H, when there was something about like Brock locked him in a submission on some steps or something, and Triple H had like a sledgehammer and like his arm kind of just faded out, and then he just passed out or something.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you see and then you remember only the right scenario happens. You don't regularly talk about it.
Yeah, I think the only thing I remember, I think Stone Cold was maybe in a sharpshooter by Bret Hart or something. I can't remember, but ended up passing out.
13 or 12.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only one I can really think of at the moment.
Yeah. So speaking of that, because I remember that being a very bloody match. So which kind of makes me think of this Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, Joey Janela. I think they call it the Cracker Barrel Clash or something like that.
It's Clash or I think it's Cracker Barrel Challenge, or that might be Clash.
Something's Cracker Barrel, and obviously I was ready to see this match because for one, I'm a fan of all three of these dudes, and I'm also a fan of Cracker Barrel. So this had everything I wanted to see. There were even biscuits there.
Yeah, that went to waste, and my fat boy heart cried.
I think everybody looked at that and was like, man, like they couldn't have just handed those out.
Right. Well, yeah, New Day, like they throw it out all the time.
Yeah.
Pancakes.
But so this match, though, like going into it, as we kind of talked about the last time, because they were on a team going against like MJF, Hangman Page, and Sammy Guevara, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of
it was a 6-man tag, and this was one of the teams.
Yeah.
And so I was surprised to see them together because it would seem like they'd be like against each other. And then we have this. And I know I didn't really pay attention till later, but there was a bit of a reason for this match to happen, I guess. Some minor just kind of falling outs, if you will. And then it happened, and from start to finish, it was just like, what's gonna happen next? It's like a rough hit on like the outside of the apron or the floor or whatever, or the skateboard with like the thumbtacks on the bottom of it. Yeah. He like ollied onto some dude's back, and then he had like thumbtacks stuck in his back. It's like, this is crazy to me.
Yeah. And then you had what was his name? The winner, Jimmy Havoc. Like right off the break, they duct tape his mouth shut and put tacks in his mouth. Like, and I thought like he probably might have spit them out at some point. No, he isn't. They were in there the whole time. Like, I wouldn't do that. I'd be afraid I'd swallow one of those things.
Yeah, I was because at first I was like, maybe it's one of those things where like he doesn't have any in there, like it just kind of they were in there, but then a lot of them fell out, so it's fine. But
Yeah.
when they took it off and he spit some out, then I was like, okay, he's the real MVP of this match right now.
Right.
And yeah, so because I wanted Joey Janela to win because I don't know, for some reason I just like the guy. But
yeah, I really like Joey as well.
Yeah, but I've been seeing a little bit more of Davey Havoc. I mean, that's the
when did AFI sign with AEW?
I've been seeing a little bit more of Jimmy Havoc lately. You know, just little clips and stuff of because a lot of these guys are still affiliated with other promotions. And I think it might have been AAA, no, MLW, Major League Wrestling. And I saw him like on there, kind of just, and you saw a little bit more of his character, like him talking about whatever, you know, kind of like intervening between some tag team that's trying to get into the building and like the general manager, perhaps. I was like, this guy is kind of interesting. He's also a really good wrestler, apparently, which you could kind of see in some of his submission moments. But yeah, I even though it wasn't Joey Janela, I did like seeing that it was him. Nothing against Darby, but that would have been my preference. Janela, Havoc, Allen, whatever. I'm not sure how that's pronounced.
Yeah, I going into this, I would have been happy with regardless whoever won this match. And then, you know, we got the whole spot of the night, and we'll say mine came out of this match, but you know, I'd changed my spot of the night like 3, 4, 5 different times of this.
It was.
You had who was it? I think it was Darby Allin. He did the senton off the
with like with the barrel and all that.
Oh no, not that. Like at first, like when Jimmy was tied up, he did the flip off and then like landed on him, and then I was like, man, dude, like that'd be crazy. There's no bracelet for that either.
No,
you just sat there and took it.
Opened it up too much.
With the taxes mouth still.
Yes, and probably some on him.
Oh yeah, because they just poured it all out on him. But then you had the like you were saying a second ago, the Cracker Barrel. What's that called? That drop, coffin drop.
Yeah,
like had the barrel, coffin dropped to the outside onto the stairs. It's like, dude, you are crazy.
Like exploded. It was like Donkey Kong or something.
Right? I was very happy with that.
Yeah, so that was unexpected for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably watch that one again because like since I rented it, I think I have replays for like until like for like the first month after the pay-per-view or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But of course I'll download it too because you never know. I might want to watch it on a rainy day, which is actually kind of today on account of this Typhoon Ling Ling.
Yeah. Ling Ling. I totally forgot to look that up.
Yeah, I forgot about it all just till right now.
Yeah.
But moving on from that, I forget. Oh yeah, so then Havoc ended up picking up the win. So good for him. And then things were on to a weirder note with Best Friends versus the Dark Order. Very, two polar opposites of vibes.
Yeah, it made for a unique match. I'll say that. Like, given just like the personalities of Best Friends and then the personalities of Dark Order, like you couldn't be no more polar opposites. Yeah,
and so you want to talk about some things you liked in there?
So I forget which one it was, but I got it down here. There's the springboard corkscrew moonsault. I think they ran as one of the things. He ran, jumped up, hit the ropes, and did that springboard corkscrew thing. Like it was just crazy.
And that's because there were, and I don't remember that specifically, but I just remember as I was watching it, there were so many things. I'm like, oh, that was cool. Then too much, oh, that was cool. There's a lot of those moments.
Oh yeah, totally, a ton of those moments. I feel like that kind of goes back up there with Private Party in their match. They had a lot of moments like that as well.
Exactly. But overall, I mean, even though with like the clash of everything in this match. It was still fine, you know. It wasn't like match of the night, and I wouldn't say it was better than the other tag matches.
Yeah.
But the bar had been set pretty high. The thing was, though, it's like you can't be that match that derails like the momentum of the show. And
Yeah.
they went out there, they put on a pretty solid one. The
Yeah.
Best Friends are pretty entertaining in their own way. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. They do the hug, they get like the wide shot, everybody.
Yeah. I was gonna bring that up. Like, I like that.
It's like it's very ridiculous, but it's like when it happens, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah. Like I was getting excited.
Yeah. So there was that and everything. And then let's see, to me, like, not to take away from what happened in the actual match, but the highlight was definitely Orange Cassidy, because I've seen a few of his matches, if you want to call them matches, and it's funny to watch. You know,
Yeah.
one of those things that some people were like, "Oh, why'd you hire this guy? It's just a joke. You make your promotion look bad." But then everybody else is like, "No, dude, like it's Orange Cassidy."
Yeah.
So like,
I've not seen a lot of them, and I've been trying to like look other wrestlers up outside of AEW, just see what all happens. And he's been one of the guys that I like him. He's very entertaining and comedic. And I think that's something that these promotions need is some there's got to be some comedy in there.
right? Like he's like they also have Michael Nakazawa. You may remember from the hardcore match like a couple shows ago.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, he's in the kiddie pool,
Yeah. The Legos.
Like, then they have. I haven't seen him on here, but because he's a New Japan guy, I guess. But Yano is like that for New Japan. It's like they have comedy people, right? Everybody does.
Yeah.
But this is like different in that it's like he's not going out there to be funny. He's just going out there and just kind of doing the least. If
like what's the least amount of effort I can do right now?
he throws in those,
still be entertaining.
and then when he ran and dove through the ropes with his hands in his pocket,
Yeah.
he just rolls back in, and then he got the hug in the middle, and everybody was happy.
Yeah, I was happy. Like it was a good way to end that one. It was a good closer.
Right. So definitely good with that one. And then they close out, moved on to Shida versus Riho.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, like I said, I don't remember anything about it other than that the finish was weird.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting which one was it? I can't even think of which one was which now, honestly, but the one that they said used to be a tag team partner with Kenny Omega.
Yeah, Riho.
Okay. So I was expecting her to win in a way, just because like I felt like they were going to try to build her up,
Yeah, and for me, I really wanted Shida to win. Again, like I said just a moment ago, I looked up more of the wrestlers. I've been trying to look up some of the guys, some of the females, and Shida. I like Shida. I think she is like a really good wrestler from what I have seen. Now, when it comes to Riho, I don't think she's as good.
Yeah.
So, like, all my chips were in the, on Shida for this match.
Yeah, and looking at it now, because I had to look at the actual results because I couldn't remember who won. But I do remember now that as I watched it, I did not want Riho to win because I did not think she was better.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been an all night. I don't know. You can't judge off of like the one match, sure. But as you're watching it, you kind of can judge off of that one match.
Yeah. I think this is like the third match I've seen her in. And in all of her other matches, she's always been my least favorite performer. And then we had Shida coming out there, and, she's basically manhandling Riho the whole time. I'm like, all right, maybe this is it. Maybe I'm going to get what I want, Maybe we'll see Shida fighting, for that title. No, not at all. But now I know who's going to be the first, title holder. It's going to be Riho.
I mean, it could be. Well, so it'll be Riho versus Nyla Rose, right? That's the thing. I I'm gonna hope that it's Nyla Rose because from what I saw of her, she seems like she has more to offer all around,
Mhm.
and like she'd be a believable force to hold it for an extended period of time. Because you kind of want I would imagine you want the first person to like really build some prestige, not pull like a Zack Ryder and lose it the next night. So,
Yeah, but the thing for me, it's the whole. They're gonna make her go through this whole David versus Goliath story, and she's gonna be the champion. I'm just calling it.
yeah.
Right now, I'm gonna be very upset too. Be highly disappointed.
So I mean, but time will tell, and hopefully, they got all the awkward pins out of their system because I couldn't. I thought it was one of those like almost 3 counts, but then they were like, "Yeah, she won." I was like, "Did she?"
Did she though?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
I'm about to erase that memory out of my fucking brain. So
And I'm just like, "All right, we're done here."
yeah,
Because again, looking forward to the next match, which was
it's a little bit more exciting.
what's that?
Next match was a little bit more exciting.
Oh yeah, and it had like a lot going into it, like Cody versus Spears. That was, I mean, just the story alone, and then watching the match from start to finish, it was just so well done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I liked in here, and I kind of alluded to in my little brief comment, was like other wrestling, like on Raw. You know, like when they're doing those wrestling shows, they often use the legends to move the tickets to make people want to watch the show. It's like, hey, buy tickets to Raw because Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to be there, which
Yeah.
is like, and that was like the big news story of like the last week or something because they weren't selling their Madison Square Garden tickets very well. But anyway, so like I look at this and they had legends involved, which I think is fine, right?
Yeah.
On how you use them. And for this, they had one guy, Tully Blanchard, as the manager of sorts. You know what I mean? So that was a cool touch. They almost had DDP, which I'll consider him like legend status because of what he did and that he doesn't do it anymore. So he's, you know, he fits the bill. And so they had them. Earl Hebner was there. I actually met him once at a TNA show, so that was kind of cool.
Lucky. I've never met him. I've actually met very few wrestlers.
I feel like going to an AEW show, you'd be able to meet like a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I saw that, and I'll let you cover the Arn Anderson portion.
Yeah. So when good old Double A came out, I was very hyped up. I don't know if you've seen my Instagram, but I just like, all caps, like, Double A, like, man, he come out like I love Double A. He was one of the first wrestlers I seen as like a respectable wrestler, when he was back there with the Four Horsemen, like him, Flair, Benoit, and all them. I probably got way more excited about that one moment more than the rest of that match. Anything else that happened in it, I was way more excited over that than what probably should have been. But they, hit him with the spine buster. Just he rolls out and gets out of there. So I'm wondering, what's going to happen, with that. I think they can work some legend angle there. And then there's also that Death Valley driver on the ramp. And I was like, man, that looked like it hurt. It was another one of those spots like, all right, you did it. Now how you feeling?
Yeah. I mean, and the Young Bucks said in like a separate thing or whatever that matches like this are going to be only on shows like this. Like normal weekly shows, it's going to be like I guess probably more like what you saw in like some of the openers, where it's nothing crazy, but a good matchup to watch.
Yeah.
So as far as this goes, though, it was done well. It ended how everybody expected it to end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where if you can watch a match knowing what the outcome is going to be, and then it happened, and you still be fine with it's like okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of a good sign because I've seen other matches where it's like you know who's going to win, and then they win, and you're like,
yeah, it's just very anticlimactic. Like I knew it was coming. They did nothing to make me enjoy what I was about to watch.
like
You know?
in the and you can probably agree with this, like in the later 90s, earlier 2000s, whatever, like those Royal Rumbles, there would be like a good, out of the 30 people, there'd be probably a good 10 or so that you could see, like, I could see a good number of these guys winning this, like
Yeah.
legitimately winning this and going on and having some WrestleMania match with whoever it makes sense with.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a string of recent years where it's like, it's gonna be Roman Reigns, or like it's gonna be this person.
Yeah.
Yes. And then from that moment you're like, okay, like if this is Royal Rumble, he's gonna win. Then in WrestleMania it's gonna be this and this, and he's gonna win that.
Yep.
And me, of course, I'm out there buying my tickets and knowing I'm gonna be a little disappointed that night, but I still do it.
You get that WrestleMania experience though.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. It is a good time.
Yeah.
Speaking of a good time, well, for the viewers anyway, I forget what the Mexican Spanish phrase was, but something de muerte or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ladder match, that thing was unreal.
Yeah. I mean, even on my notes that I got here, I'm just like, OMG. Like, it was just.
I mean, because there were spots left and right. Like there were some where it's like where Nick Jackson runs up, jumps off the ladder, jumps onto the top rope, jumps out, does a moonsault or whatever. It's like, okay, that's pretty impressive, you know. Then there are other ones where you look at it and you're like, so basically he just got a pile driver off of this ladder through that table.
Yeah. Yeah, like the I think I specifically know when they did the Canadian Destroyer off the ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
it looked like he laid it straight on his head.
it looked how you would want it to look.
Yeah.
But it looked how it should not go.
Yeah.
So
that was a crazy moment too. And here recently I've been seeing like a lot of Canadian Destroyers.
Yeah, that's
like on Twitter and everything. You know, I'll see like independent things and even within like AEW and WWE, like I keep seeing the Canadian Destroyer, and I'm like, all right. I mean, it's a cool move, but like everybody just seems to be using it right now. And then when that happened, I was like, oh wow, now that was a Canadian Destroyer anybody can enjoy.
Yeah, because like I kind of feel the same way. Like to me, I think the move is kind of cool in a way, but I don't like it because like I don't get it. You know, It's like, wait a second. So you're standing there, you got like this pile driver position thing going, and then you just magically flip over. Like it's I get how this is gonna sound, but it's a little unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
There is that.
I don't know, man. In physics, you go really fast, they're just gonna flip.
From a standing, because like there was a standing one in the women's battle royal. I don't remember hearing it now that I think about it. And I think Shane McMahon also uses it. But either way, it's a weird move. But again, in this setting, it was done like because somebody actually flipped over, jumped, and it's like, all right, I get this, right? You're trying to kill a man for some reason because you want to take your title back to Mexico.
Yeah.
I guess that's
you don't want the Americans getting it.
Right. Like they had it, you beat them, you took it back. They wanted a rematch, you beat them, you kept it. And now you're done. Yep. But past that, there was a lot of stuff going on in that match. Like
the apron, when they're on the apron, and I think it was Nick and one of them fighting. I always get the luchadors mixed up.
Yeah, the one with the face paint is Penta.
Okay, yeah. So Penta and Matt were on the inside of the ring.
Yeah.
And then Nick and the other one were on the outside of the ring. And they had those tables set up. Then they both ran and did the knives.
That was because there were moments like that were pretty cool where like they would do something like that, or they both do another similar same move to their respective opponents, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're doing them in tandem, but it's not like, oh, like Edge and Christian both hit monkey flips at the same time. No, it's like Edge and Jeff Hardy both like did this too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was all in all really good match, and hopefully they're good. They're good.
Yeah. Hopefully they're walking. Like hands down though, the best ladder match I've ever seen, and I don't think anything's going to top that for a while. Before that, I think TLC 2 might have been my favorite, but not anymore.
There was a Stairway to Hell match in ECW. I think it was like Sabu and Sandman. In its own special way, that was a heck of a match.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like I mean, and then because they're ladder matches, and then of course like the timing of them is like kind of falls in with how good they were. Like the Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon match, that to a lot of people that's always going to be one of the best ladder matches because it was one of the first big ladder match. Though Bret Hart will tell you that it was not the first ladder match in WWF. The first one was on some TV show or something. It was him and some other dude because he was trying to get Vince McMahon to like buy in on why to do ladder matches, and then McMahon didn't even watch the match.
Yeah.
So I've heard that story a couple times. But next up, final match actually. Page versus Jericho. Oh, you're smart. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's been a couple matches in there. There are a couple comments in there from Tokyo.
Yeah.
I try to watch the chat, but I also try to keep the conversation moving.
Yeah. I'm trying to do both.
Yeah. So sometimes, like when you start talking, I'll like start typing and then still listen to you. But yeah, so Page versus Jericho, main event. People have been waiting on this one for a while.
Yeah, I was excited for it, for quite a while actually.
Because I'm a pretty big Adam Page guy, and even bigger Jericho guy. Because I've been a fan of Jericho since for like 20 years. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Like, seriously, like 20 years. But anyway, so first, Page came out on a horse, and that was pretty awesome. I'm not a horse guy, but that was a good touch.
Yeah, if your gimmick's a cowboy and you're coming out for a title match, bringing a horse, that's the way to go.
It's like Eddie Guerrero's lowrider, right? But
yeah.
So he does that, and I'm like, this is pretty awesome. Then he got in the ring. He had like the chaps on, like kind of like what Shawn Michaels wears to a lot of his bigger matches anyway.
Yeah.
So he kind of reminds me a lot of him, So then as I was watching this match, it made me think like I need to watch WrestleMania 19 later, which is the one where Jericho and Shawn Michaels, I think it might have been the main event. I'm not sure, but they definitely fought there.
Yeah.
So I suggest that to you too. It's probably a good match. I haven't seen it in a long time though.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch a couple of those older matches. It's been a minute since I've done that. Go back and watch a pay-per-view.
Yeah. So what? I know you have your own points about the match that you liked.
Yeah. First, I just thought it was a great match. I've been waiting for this for a long time. And I feel like this is going to be one of those historic moments for wrestling for a while anyways. We'll see how things, the future, the company plays out. But, it was a good match to actually catch.
Yeah.
Probably the most important match, some of these guys will ever be, part of. I'm happy Jericho won. I like Jericho. I feel like, he kind of deserved it. And I think it still sets up a good storyline. They can keep working with Page and keep, pushing his character.
I think one of the things that they said during the match at some point was that, when comparing the two, like Page has never won like a world title.
Yeah.
Like, period. Right. He may have had some tag titles, but even then, I'm not sure. he might have been like a 6-man champ with in Ring of Honor with like the Young Bucks because they were like the Hung Bucks for a while, which is funny to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so looking at it like that, it's like, okay, if they want to build that up, you know, so that way, you know, when his first win happens, it's like more people are paying attention, maybe.
Yeah.
Also, going into like this big TV deal, like I'm sure Jericho was obviously a huge part of getting this promotion going, right? And signing him was kind of like a huge deal too, because he's Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
So him going in into like TV and being like the champ, I feel like that's gonna bring a lot of eyes in and everything. So I see a lot of like business oriented reasons why he would win, but I also see a lot of like wrestling fan reasons why he should have won too.
Yeah.
Because it is Chris Jericho, right? Like, and when I was watching this match, like the first minutes before they, you know, when they're still in the ring and the bell hadn't rung yet, it kind of, I could kind of tell in his face, and like, he looks like he's not nervous, but like thinking about like, okay, I really got to like make this match work. You know what I mean? Like make this be like everything everyone's expecting it and to be and all this. So kind of like looking like, okay, I'm thinking like, he looks like he's gonna win this, but wants to make sure he puts on a match worthy of him winning it.
Yeah, and I can see that too, because I mean it's a lot of, you know, like they said, he's been in a lot of situations before with title matches and everything, but I don't think he's ever. I mean, he's in a match for a new promotion for their first ever title. That could be, you know, I can see that being, you know, a little bit of pressure, a little weight on the shoulder.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, he pulled it off. Like, I mean, it was a solid match. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there was no lion salt in there, which was kind of strange to me in a way.
Yeah, I saw he went to go for it, then Paige stopped it, and then I think he also went to. I don't even know if there's a Walls of Jericho.
There was one of those.
Okay, yeah, there was. But there's something else. There's something else they tried to do. Now I don't think he was able to pull it off. But you know, talking about moves, when
that thing where he jumps off like the middle rope to like do a drop kick, kind of like to the outside.
Yeah, that might be it.
It was countered with like a super kick or something like that.
Yeah, that might have been the one I was thinking of. But talking about countering moves, though, when Paige went to do that shooting star press off the apron, and then like he countered with a code breaker, I thought that was really a really slick spot.
It really was. Yeah, that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
And but then like seeing, you know, the match go on and see how long was that thing? That was 26 minutes. So I mean,
really?
I could feel after a while that it had been going on for a bit, but it didn't feel long. It was just like, I feel like I've been watching this for a while.
Yeah.
At the same time, I watched this whole pay-per-view live, which was the first time I watched a full pay-per-view live in a while.
Yeah.
But the first time I bought a pay-per-view since like 2002 when Shawn Michaels came back at SummerSlam to fight Triple H. Yeah. But anyway, so as the match, you know, goes on and then it gets wrapped up and everything, and Jericho's like given the title and like looked like he was like crying, you know, which I could see that, you know, because it's a pretty emotional moment, you know. I mean, this promotion that he built, that's kind of like the culmination of his legacy in a way. It's like at this point, it's like he's done it all. He's won every belt there is pretty much in every promotion there was, and then he made a new one. And he's like at the forefront of it. And I'm sure like there are other people that could have been in that position, but for him to be brought in and then like given it's like it's kind of probably a pretty validating feeling, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, it was very well deserved. I mean, if you'd put somebody in there like, you know, I love Luchasaurus, but I definitely don't think he should be, you know, the heavyweight champ.
Right.
And it's good to establish a champion that people already know.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to help you. You know, you love them or you hate them. It's you know the fans will be able to react to that instead of like, you know, not a lot of people know about Hangman Page and they're like, okay, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this guy yet.
They build him up on TV so people can care. So when he does win,
I know I'm gonna be excited.
Right, because it's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah.
So I mean, but yeah, he was probably, and I'd have to look at the roster, but I kind of feel like he was the best person to start with. I mean, I could, because it'd be a little weird in some ways if it was like Cody.
Yeah.
But though it is, from what I just saw somewhere online, at their Full Gear pay-per-view, it's going to be Cody versus Jericho.
Oh yeah.
So it should be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all in all, I mean, I guess that kind of wraps up like the pay-per-view, like solid from start to finish. No, you know what I mean? Like everything was good.
And like you said earlier about the, not slowing down that momentum from match to match, I felt like every match was where it needed to be. And I felt like, from start to end, I know that was a long pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was 5 hours. Like
but I did not feel like it was 5 hours. Like as I was watching, I was hooked. I was hooked in from start to finish. And there's not one moment I was just like, why am I watching this?
Yeah, like I haven't dedicated 5 hours to anything, and I'm in school. I work, and but yeah, so
we work.
right. I show up to work.
Yeah.
But so overall, though, look, taking the night as a whole, thinking about spot of the night. What are you going with?
What do I got down here? Okay, so I'd never changed this. I do got the Darby's Cracker Barrel drop. That was my spot. But I just got caught up with everything else, and I honestly forgot to go back to change that. But I got to give it to the Canadian driver.
Okay, that's totally valid. Totally.
Yeah.
I can't argue that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's
because like my spot of that also comes from that same match, but it's when Nick Jackson was like kind of pushed off the ladder, kicked off, whatever. He's supposed to fall with those tables on the outside.
Yeah.
The fact that they've been doing this for years. That spot has happened many times, but this time like it happened and it didn't go right. You know what I mean? He was. I don't know if he was supposed to jump at some point and missed his window, or.
Well, I felt like he did jump, but
I don't know if he's supposed to jump at a different time, or if it was he thought maybe I'm high enough that I can just fall naturally into this. Either way, he was like probably about like an ankle short, and hit those ropes.
Yeah.
And so he took the worst end of it, but it all played out fine, and that he didn't get like seriously injured. So just seeing that, I was like, okay, well, that's for him to take that chance. Like, I'll give him the spot of the night on this, and the fact that he still came through.
Yeah. I'm also gonna give that botch of the night. I didn't put one of those down because things were just so smooth.
It's a double whammy, if you will.
Yeah.
But and then past that, I mean, there were several like cool moments, but that, because if it wasn't for that one, shoot, I don't know, it might be the skateboard thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be that.
I like how we were both pulling it out the same matches too.
Yeah. We'll see what happens next time when I think the next one is all just standard matches. But again, if something is that good, it's gonna be that good, right?
Oh yeah.
And then so I guess we also both went with the same, which kind of makes sense for our first choices for the match of the night.
Yeah.
The ladder match, right?
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of people's match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
But then
there's just so much going on in that, there's so much action, there's a little story going on, and it's hard to take a match like that, put it on a card, and not be people's favorite.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when it's so well done.
Yeah.
People knew going into it to have high expectations, and they delivered.
Oh yeah, like it went beyond my expectations.
I mean, everybody that had like expectations behind a match. I mean, because like the only ones that maybe didn't would be like some of the earlier tag matches, just because they weren't talked about so much. But when you see like Pac and Omega, you're like, this is going to be good because of what they are. You see like Jericho Page, like this is going to be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything that had some expectations attached to it, it delivered, I think.
Yeah.
It's just like it's hard to say like what was better or worse, because like in their own ways they delivered what they wanted to deliver.
Yeah. You know? Now let's real quick. Let's take the ladder match out, because that's kind of, I feel like it's a little bit cheating. If you got a ladder match, you got more to work with.
The Jordan, if you will.
Yeah, it's going to be easier for you to take the win. So let's take that ladder match out. If there was no ladder match, who would get match of the night?
Oh, the Cracker Barrel thing. Because again, like, don't get me wrong, like the Luchasaurus and all that, like the match was good, but I mean, it was also nothing new necessarily. It's just like they were just really good, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of leaned towards that because it was a little different. Sure, it's just like a hardcore match, but they took some turns in there that I hadn't seen. It wasn't just like, oh man, he's got the chair on top of him and he's on top of the table, and then 450. It's like, okay, that's cool, but it's also not new. They had a lot of new stuff in there that was pretty creative.
Oh yeah, and I think that'd be a really good choice. For me, if it weren't for that ladder match, I would have to say Pac and Omega. I really like seeing this new Pac. Him and Omega, I think their chemistry was just really well.
Yeah.
I think outside of chemistry, I think the next match would have been Jericho and Hangman.
Yeah.
But Pac and Omega, they complemented each other too, very well. I didn't see a lot of moves getting recycled too much. The flow was great. It was just a straight up, classic, well done wrestling match, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because like looking at it like that, there were no bad matches on there, right?
No, not at all.
There wasn't anything where I was like, okay, this is clearly where I'm going to take a break because I don't want to watch this person versus this person. It's not going to be good. Mm-hmm. Everything was solid. It did what they set out to do. They needed to tell a story, or if they needed to entertain, everything was well done. So top to bottom, it's even more impressive because the thing was so long, like the whole 5-hour thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like to put in that much wrestling, okay, maybe it's like close to 4 hours if you take out the why is this happening portions. Yeah. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a lot, and it was good, like quality.
Even like I would say maybe Riho and Shida was my least favorite match. Yeah. But even that match itself, I thought what they were doing was pretty good. Granted, it was mainly Shida doing most of the beating Riho up for the longest time, so I was okay with that.
Right. So yeah, that's the thing. It's like while I wasn't excited about it, I was like, I feel like it's still gonna be good.
Yeah. I think I just said that backwards. Shida beating up Riho. That's what I meant to say. I don't know what I said a second ago, though.
Yeah. I do that sometimes. Like, I feel like I said one thing, but I'm like, I'll just go with it. I'll see it when I'm doing the editing.
Well, there's no editing this, and I don't want to.
No, it's out there. I did enough editing last night for whatever video I was making.
Which I still need to catch up on those.
And so I will say I did a lot of editing in my last Pro Wrestling Crate unboxing because I was like splicing in all these pictures of wrestlers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that one there's the part with the Undertaker is probably like one of my favorite edits that I've done in a while.
I'll have to give that a watch and keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah. I think I did something with like Less Than Jake recently for some reason in one of the videos. I don't remember why, but I also liked that because that was kind of like a cool idea when I did it. So but I don't remember which one that was. I'd have to look it up, and I'll do that later.
Yeah.
But as far as this goes, I think we've covered everything. So we can go ahead and wrap this up, and I guess we'll be back at it. I guess
think the live stuff's going to probably happen before the next pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken.
The next, because their next pay-per-view is November.
Yeah.
So we'll probably do maybe we can do like a recap of like just like rewatch something or like a couple matches or something like that, or because there is like Night of Champions coming up, but I don't know, like sometimes it feels like a chore to watch the WWE pay-per-views, and I'm not gonna.
If it's not NXT, it feels like a chore. That's where I stand.
And I'm not gonna say, let's watch this 4-hour thing that's probably got 20 minutes of good wrestling in it.
Mm-hmm.
No, but like if anything, or if you have any ideas, if there's like a particular like match you want to go back and watch, and it's like we talk about that from like some WrestleMania or some SummerSlam or whatever, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
There's enough out there to choose from.
Oh yeah.
But
I'll definitely do that some thoughts over the weekend.
Yeah. But until then, I guess that is it. So it's time for us to bid you adieu, right?
Yeah. We'll say goodbye to the chat.
Oh, the Jericho shirt, because Chris Jericho, right? Just made the list.
Nice.
So yeah, it's like the one other Jericho shirt that I have here that isn't the AEW is Jericho one, and I've already worn that one on one of my videos. And if you pay close enough attention, you'll see that of all the videos I've done, outside of the ones that were recorded in a single night, different shirt on all of them.
I've not paid attention to that.
Except for one time. So keep that in mind. Might be giveaway fodder later. But anyway, but yeah, I've gone through a lot of shirts, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, so also Tokyo Butter's in there. So thank you, Tokyo. Thank you to everybody else who dropped in. I know I saw some guys earlier kind of coming and going.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that. It's good for like the view counter, which is a thing that I somewhat track just to make sure it's like steady. You know what I'm saying? Like plummeting. So yes, he does. Tokyo drops content every day. So go watch it. It's also short, significantly shorter than mine. So if you got,
I actually followed him. So
so shoot it all on Sunday and just change shirts.
He doesn't Bob Ross.
Do like one of those quick, what do you call it, like outfit changes, like they do and like Madonna does when she does.
Oh yeah.
But I need a team of people. No, it's just a tank top usually.
Well, what you do is you put multiple layers on, and then you just start taking them off as you go.
See, always thinking. All right. Again, thanks everybody for coming out. We do appreciate it. We'll be seeing you again, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks or so. Try to do at least one of these a month, right?
Yeah.
So we'll figure out something for October, and we'll be back then. So thank you all. Enjoy your hurricanes if you're having hurricanes, or typhoons. We're having those here, or your clear weather. Wherever you are. All right. Take care, people.
See it.
And click end broadcast. Well, okay, there. Now end it. Maybe.